Hi everyone, my name is Diego Damona. In case this is the first time for you to stop by my YouTube channel, please I'm going to say thank you to you, and I'll just ask you one thing: to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because that is the only one you're going to encourage me to do more by publishing more videos that can help you. So in today's video, I just decided to make a video explaining the process that I went through during the interview for my DV lottery application for the visa. All right, so it was a certain day in the month of April 2022, that is the 7th of April, if I'm not mistaken, 2022. That was the chosen date for our interview. So the interview was supposed to take place at 8:15, which we did, because basically we have to be at the interview location for at least 1 hour before the time that you've been scheduled for the interview. So both my wife and I, we got prepared. We wake up early in the morning, and then we got our transportation system, and then we were at the embassy. But because it was supposed to be done at quarter past 8, so we had to wait outside. There was a queue. There was also people that came for the interview for DV lottery cases. Other people, it's an embassy, so there was so many cases there, so many people that came for the embassy. And because we got there an hour before that, so there was a queue outside of the embassy. We had to wait until 7:45, 15 minutes to 8. That was the time that the gates were open. We had to go through the checking system as it works with the security guard at the gate, and then eventually we managed to get inside the premises, inside the embassy. And then we went inside this building. Before going to the office, to the consular officer, there are a few things that you must do. You must pay the fee, the visa fee, which is up to now $330, which was both my wife and I. So we had to pay $660, $660. That's the money that we paid for the visa fee. So we finished to pay that money with that lady. Then there was a queue. We had to wait. Obviously, there are seats there. We had to sit and then wait until we were called. After a few minutes, we were called, and then we had to go to a lady in a counter. So that lady was not the consular officer. So these are the staff member of the embassy that works for the administration, as to works, putting all the papers together, making sure that you got all the papers before even you can appear before the consular officer. So that was done, and with that lady, the one who took our papers, she was trying to check every paper. Then at some point she was like, okay, now you are good to go. So after you finish showing the papers to that lady who was waiting for the administration, so you have to wait again for you to be called now for the actual interview. So we went back to the waiting area, as I wanted to say. Then we waited for almost 45 minutes, because it's a busy embassy anyway, Johannesburg embassy. So we waited there for almost 45 minutes, and eventually we were called. So we were called to go to a counter, and as we get there, we saw a woman. The consular officer, the one who was supposed to interview us, was a lady. So then the first thing that she did to us was to greet us. Hello guys, how are you doing? We were like, no, we are fine. And then she asked us, she asked my wife, what is your name? Then she said her name, and then she asked me, what is your name? Then I said my name. And the first question was, would you guys like to take an oath? We were like, yes, why not? And then we had to raise our right hand, and then she asked us a question for which we were supposed to say yes. I think the question is, do you swear that you're going to say the truth, nothing about the truth? I think that should be the question when it's about taking an oath. And then the answer was yes to that question. And then so the very first question that she asked us was like, tell me, what are you going to plan to do in America if you happen to be issued visa? So my wife is the one who started by answering. She said what was her answer, because that was the first question. Then I had to say my answer because it was a question which I have to answer to. And then the second question, if I'm not mistaken, was like the second question was, where were you married? Actually, the second question was, the next question was, where were you married? So it was in South Africa. In South Africa, that's where we get married. And then we said, no, it was in South Africa. She was like, not fine. And then, when did you guys get married? We say the year we got married, it was February 2019. I mean, 2019, yeah, 2019, February 2019. That was the date we got married. And then the next question was, what is your date of birth? It's easy. I said my date of birth, and my wife said also a date of birth. And then the next question was, how long have you been in South Africa? I told her how many years I've been there in South Africa, and also my wife said the answer. That was the correct one. So the next question was this: what is the name of your host? The host was uncle to my wife, so she had to say the name. She said the name, and then she was like, okay. And she asked again this question: what is the name of the children of your host? So my wife has to know the name of the children of my host. First of all, she said his name, and also she managed to name or to number or to spell out, to speak out each and every single name of our host children. And it was good because that was correct. And then she asked again to my wife, how many children does your host have? She said 5 children, if I'm not mistaken. And the next question regarding the host, she asked us, how long is your host living in America? Lucky enough, my wife knew the year that her uncle went to America, and she was able to number or to give the correct answer. So that question was good to the consular officer. And then she picked up one of the papers that was there, because in Congo this is how it works. After you pay compensation for the marriage, you'll be given a paper. You'll be given a kind of paper that you're going to acknowledge that, you know what, this guy gave money as it works, and you know the compensation. So that paper is the one that we were also given that paper. And then we, lucky enough, we were having that paper with us. So she asked us, what is the use of this paper? Then we had to explain to her that this paper, according to the date that is there, it explains that we did everything that you were supposed to do. I was talking about that. I'm the one who was talking. I'm the one who took the the speech. I was like, this paper explains that I gave everything that was required of me for this girl, this woman here, to become my wife. She was like, I know, it's fine. And then yeah, basically it was very simple questions that consular officer asked us during that day. And she was happy. She went back for almost 15 minutes. I think she was talking with her manager. And then she asked us, what is your birth certificate? Then we were like, one of the paper that you have there. She was like, I know, I got it. And she asked us a few questions regarding the birth certificate. We were able, not the birth certificate, I wanted to talk about the marriage certificate. So she asked us a few questions regarding the marriage certificate. We were able to give answer to those questions, and then she was happy. And ultimately, after we finished our interview, the consular officer gave us this letter here. I think you can see. Anyway, I'm going to put it on the screen. So she gave us this letter here, this paper, this form. This is what we call the 221G form. So this paper, if you are given this paper after the interview, it means that your case has been put on AP, which stands for administrative processing. I'm going to release a video explaining why should someone put on AP, and what is the meaning of AP, and what can you do in order for you to get out of AP. All right, so as also it happened to us, we were given this paper 221G, the administrative processing form, and then after that we had to wait for 4 months. We waited 4 months for finally our visa to become issued, and eventually we got our visa issued in the month of July, and then we managed to make our way from South Africa to the United States of America. So basically, guys, maybe you are wondering as to how your interview should be. Just come down. They won't ask you questions that you don't know, unless if there's something that you have been hiding. Questions that you will be asked will be the questions that you have been already asked when you were filling your DS-260 form. So the consular officer will just pull questions from that form, and then will ask you in the day of your interview. You should be able to answer those questions. All right, so that was my experience. And if you like this video, please, I'm just going to ask you one thing: to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because next time when I release the video, you're going to be alerted, and that video can help you, especially if you are preparing for the interview for this 2023 fiscal year. Stay tuned. See you in the next video. Bye.